Welcome back, everybody. I hope everybody's been having a great couple of weeks. We're going to have ourselves a little contest today. We're going to have a What's in the Box contest. And here's the deal. Either in pounds and ounces or kilograms, depending on what part of the world you're from, it's going to be your guess on how much copper is in this box. And then for the winner, we're going to have this bar, this 4-leaf clover for the prize. But what we're doing today is that we've had several requests on how I shine my bars, a little bit more detail. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to shine these bars and we're going to use them for the winner of this. We're going to run this contest for about a week and announce the winner then. But remember, pounds and ounces or kilograms, depending on what part of the country you're from or what you prefer to use for how you weigh your stuff. We'll give them one more look in here. Now, we didn't weigh the container, so it counts in the measurement. But this is number 2 here. I wanted to keep it separate. But this is, get a good pan overhead in there for them. All right. So, pounds and ounces or kilograms and grams. If you want to just use just grams, whatever you want to do. But give us a couple minutes to get set up, and we're gonna walk everybody through on how we shine our bars. All right, for the coins, we just wire wheel these and then buff them. All right, we just use regular old white buffing wheel compound. You can get it at Harbor Freight. A lot of the consumable stuff I get at Harbor Freight because it's cheap. There you go. Now bars, we start off the same thing. We just wire wheel them first and kind of look at what you need to do to them. Sometimes there's deeper grooves in them. The wire wheeling gets all the junk off there so you can actually inspect it a little bit so you know what you have to start off with. Because you might have to start off with like a 40 grit tiger paw, or if it's smooth and it's nice, start off with 120 and then work your way up from there. All right, well, this one does have a little bit of holes, some layering. So I'm gonna start this one off with the 60 grit tiger paw and then work my way up from there. All right, now that's after a 60 grit tiger paw. Now the one thing I forgot to add is when I'm using a grinder, I try to leave it as flat as possible. When people go up on the edge like that, and if you stop, that's when you dig in and you get those little valleys and everything. If you leave that grinder flat as possible and go back and forth and try not to stop on it, sometimes it makes it a little more flatter. On the smaller bars, I like to come over to here and I'll use these 200, I think these are 220 grit. And then I'll do a brush around on that, and then we'll go up to the next step. now after that step, I switch over to these pads. They're just called Fine. I get all this stuff down at my local hardware store, Nicholson's Hardware in Rockford, Illinois. All right. Now you get it down. I get it down to this step. This is where I start laying it out to be stamped. Because there's a couple more steps to go, and there are some little lines left. Because basically polishing, really all it is you're making bigger scratches smaller. So each step you go with whatever you're using is going to get them scratches finer and finer and finer until you get that mirror polish. And it's just up to you what steps you want to go through to use. You know, how many steps do you want to go? Do you want to go from, 80 grit to 120 to, down the line, and then I get down to, 1200 or so. But so it just depends on how you want to do it, what grits you want to use. All right, and then when I get to this point, there's still some little bit of scratches you can see in there. That's when I lay out for my stamping, because then I can continue after the stamping to get the rest of the scratches out, and then it also sands off my layout. A little crooked. Now that we sanded sanded off the layout and everything, what I do is I'll come over to my Scotch-Brite pads. Got one that's about ready to be retired, and then the fine one. And I'll actually hand sand these before I move over to my grinding buffing wheel. And you can get these at Menards. This one's a 220 grit, but it actually shines it up real well. And then the last step will be, of course, the buffing wheel. All right, now we switched over to the old buffing wheel. All right, last step, right here. Here's one little boo-boo right there. Okay, here is how they turned out. Now again, this will be the prize for whoever comes closest or guesses the amount of pounds and ounces, grams, kilograms, however you want to do it, depending again what country you're from. So that'll be the prize. And we'd like to say thank you to Mad Matt's Bucket List for this. Is a request for him and a couple other people. They wanted a little bit more detail on how to shine these bars, and we're glad he's out of the hospital on the way to recovery. We're in your corner, Matt, so we're with you. We appreciate everybody and your continued support. We love you all. Thank you very, very much, and we all hope you have a great week. Thank you.